Namaste. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be across the planet, around the world. My name is Greg Prescott from in5d.com and in5d.net, welcoming you to another Spirit Chat. And tonight we're going to be talking about signs that you're a starseed. I'm guessing that, if you're watching this, you probably are. So we'll end it right there. See you the next time. No, it's always nice having that little confirmation, and what I want you to do is get a pen or a pencil or a crayon, whatever, etch something in wood. I don't care, whatever, however you want to keep a tally, and just give yourself 1 point for every time. But you'll have to have a pen and a piece of paper or some kind of writing utensil. Speaking of utensils, what's that thing that, all right, say you're cooking a cake, right? And you're making the batter, right? And you've already had the blenders going in there, and you're scraping the side with that thing, that flat thing. What is that thing called? I didn't know this until maybe, I don't know, 6 months ago. And it's called a spatula. I always thought a spatula was just that flat thing, that you flip an egg with. But that thing that you scrape the side of a bowl, like if you're making brownies or something like that, batter or whatever, you're scraping the inside of a jar, maybe with one of those things, that's also a spatula. They should call it something else, like bowl scraper thingy. Or not. Oh, God. So, yeah, it's going to be a good night. Got lots of good things to talk about tonight. So before we get started, I just been busy doing this. Check this out. This is Lisa's. She just ordered this. I probably shouldn't say last name, so I won't. I'll just say it's Lisa's. Look at that. That's an ice dye. It just came out so well. And I got like a bunch of these. I still have got 6 in the dryer right now. And that's the one I'm wearing, Cosmic Lightning. And I still have 11 more to rinse and wash and dry. So got lots of tie-dyeing to do. My hands are well, they're not as bad as what they were earlier. I went to the beach for about an hour and a half, and then I stopped at the public pool. It's only a couple miles away from my house, so I went there and hung out, and I met this dude who's awake and aware at the public pool. So we had a nice conversation, and it's good to meet other people unexpectedly in places that you wouldn't normally think that you might meet somebody like that. So that was cool. Hi to everyone that's joining us in the YouTube chat. We have Debbie came in first, and Elena. Hi, Elena, and Vera, and Mandolin, Jody, and there's my baby, my love, my sexy goddess, Allie, uninsurable. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to put a link in the chat room for you guys to join in here. But I've got a couple things I just want to cover beforehand. And so, yeah, speaking of which, I don't know, Allie, because we've been using live stream so much. Now I'm on Zoom and I'm thinking, oh God, how do I do things? It's similar, but it's different. So anyway, it's all good. So the first thing we're going to do is go out there. Is that it? We'll go there. Not there. Oh, that brought us right to where we are. Never mind. Let's try that again. Is that it? We'll go there. I don't know if I can do that. Oh, wait. Oh, that brought us. Oh, forgive me, for I have not sinned. How are you guys doing tonight? It's Friday, isn't it? Wow. Here we are on a Friday. I'm thinking, let's see, 40 years ago, over 40 years ago, 8 o'clock on a Friday. 40 years ago, I was 21. Don't even want to think about that. Oh my. Yeah. Anyway, let's go here real quick. Chat and what's going on with you guys. Okay. So, okay, you guys ready? Get your pen and piece of paper out, your crayons or your Etch-a-Sketch. I don't know, whatever you want to do this on. And we're do signs that you're a starseed. All right. So, number one. All right. Number one, you have an aversion to bright, unnatural lighting. Yet solace can be found in natural sunlight. So something like that would be talking about like really bright LED lights, just anything that's not natural lighting. If that sounds like you, give yourself a little check mark. Number two, an aversion to reptiles, amphibians, and snakes. An aversion to reptiles, amphibians, and snakes. I wouldn't say an aversion. I mean, I can tolerate them. I can't give myself a check on that. Wouldn't say I don't like snakes. But amphibians? I mean, come on, a little toad, a little frog. Come on. They're kind of cool. What a great sign too, a metaphysical sign of transformation. So yeah, I can't give myself a check on that. Number three, sensitivity to extreme hot or cold. Yeah. Here, even in Florida, if it gets cold in Florida is like 60s. When it gets in the 60s, I'll wear socks to bed, not just regular socks, wool socks. Yeah. So yeah, I'll take a check on that one. So number four, an extreme sensitivity to pain. Yeah. I remember when I used to have fillings, dentist would be drilling in. And even though he gave me a ton of Novocaine, I would still feel the pain. So yeah, number five, a feeling of being very different from most others. Yeah, we are the round peg that doesn't fit into the square hole. Yeah, that's us. So yeah, I got to give myself a check for that. This is interesting. In a recent poll, nearly 95% of all Americans believe they are psychologically prepared for proof of extraterrestrial life, while 80% of those polled believe the United States government is hiding information relating to UFOs and extraterrestrials. So yeah, our number six is a memory or memories of a profound experience around the ages of 5 to 9. usually having something to do with aliens, UFOs, or stars. This could also include spiritual visions of Earth creatures or people. I'll read that again. That was a long one. A memory or memories of a profound experience or experiences around the ages of 5 to 9, usually having something to do with aliens, UFOs, or stars. This could also include spiritual visions of Earth creatures or people. I've had that, but I'm not sure if it was that young. Yeah, 5 to 9. I think it was more around 10, 11, 12, so I can't give myself a check on that. So number 7. So far, I've got 4 out of 6. Number 7, an obsession with the stars or outer space. Definitely. I think most of us can probably give ourselves a check mark on that one. Number 8, having an imaginary childhood friend that seemed to speak of its own accord, as if they were a separate entity. This sometimes continues into adulthood. I didn't have that. No. Kind of wish I did sometimes. That would have been kind of cool, right? Okay. Number 9, attraction to the colors green, blue, and purple, especially the lighter, softer colors such as sky blue and lavender. Well, green and purple are the galactic plasma shirt that I have on in 5D quantum tie-dye. So yeah, give myself a check for that. Number 10, acute hearing, above average hearing range. I would probably put in there, if you hear high-pitched frequencies, you could probably give yourself a check on that as well. So after the first 10, how are you guys doing? I've got 7 out of 10. Not bad. I bet there's someone, and some more than just one person, that's 10 for 10. So how are you guys doing so far on the first 10? Phil was 5 for 5. So and we're going to be talking about this when I let everybody in. Number 11, extreme sensitivity to excessive and clamorous noise. I don't like it, but extreme sensitivity, I wouldn't say extreme. I just don't care for it. No, I can't. It's not extreme though. I can't give myself a check on that. So number 12, a driving need to get away from normal people, to either be alone or seek out someone who shares your interests in spiritual matters. Oh, hell yeah. 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 I think that's just about all of us too. Number 13, an inner desire and knowing to do what is right, even though those things were not taught, but often feeling trapped as a child and expressing oneself in ways that are troubling to others. And I'll read that again. An inner desire and knowing to do what's right, even though these things were not taught, but often feeling trapped as a child and expressing oneself in ways that are troubling to others. So yeah, we see a lot of this in school, indoctrination, how many people stared out the window, right? Because and what you were doing wasn't right, it wasn't right to the school, it was right for you. It was bucking the system. And good for everybody, every one of you that stared out the window and daydreamed instead of absorbing all that crap in school. But yeah, I'll give myself a check on that one. Number 14, hyperactivity as a child. Yep. I was on Adderall as an adult. Yeah, but back then it wasn't, they didn't have that diagnosis, even though I kind of questioned some of that stuff. But honestly, when I was taking Adderall, I was extremely focused. And Adderall's an amphetamine. And this goes into that category of, I have an article on in 5D, 30 signs that you're wired differently. I could take an Adderall, like I said, it's an amphetamine, and be asleep within an hour. No problem whatsoever. So it helped me focus, and it did the exact opposite of what you would think it would do. An amphetamine would make people jittery, calm me down. And I ended up graduating with honors for both my BA and master's degrees, and I was taking Adderall for that. But what I found out, and this might help people who have perhaps a child that has ADD or ADHD. What I found out is that once I eliminated the clutter in my mind, the ADHD left. I used to be a huge sports fanatic. I could look at the sports page, just glance at the statistics, but for some reason they would just be locked into my mind. And I could tell you in baseball who was fourth in the American League in doubles and how many they had, who was seventh in the National League in ERA and what that was. Just like but it was like a semi-photographic memory, only in things that were interesting. But what that ended up doing was cluttering my mind. After watching The Secret, I stopped watching all sports except for the NFL, National Football League. That's the only one I watch. And I got rid of all that clutter. I started meditating, finding my center, finding that balance. And it made a huge difference. So if you have a child that is on Adderall, and what they really need to do is unclutter their mind by perhaps meditating. If you can get them into meditating, I'd highly recommend it. So number 15, extreme sensitivity or extreme tolerance to alcohol, medicines, and drugs. Well, I think that would tie into what I just said with Adderall for me. I'll read that again. Extreme sensitivity or extreme tolerance to alcohol, medicines, and drugs. So yeah, I'll give myself a little check on that. That's how I'm doing so far, 11 out of 15. How are you guys doing? Number 16, creating within one's own mind fantasy worlds that often include alien life, journeys to other planets, and places beyond stereotypical fantasies of Earth. Anyone that's envisioned 5D Earth, give yourself a check, because that's, some of the things I see on 5D Earth are like waterfalls that flow upwards instead of downwards, and they're sparkly and shiny, and the clouds are all different colors, and the water it reacts to each person. If we all went to the beach, and let's say I like it warm, and I know exactly what my ideal water temperature is, 83 Fahrenheit. it would be 83 for me. But if you liked it cool, like 73, we could be standing right next to each other. You would have cool water. I would have my warm water. It would be exactly what we prefer. See, and that's part of, the creation, part of the creation for 5D Earth. So, and you guys are welcome to use that in your creations as well. So, let's see, where are we? Okay, that was 16. 17. Dreams involving flying or bodily form or astral projection. Oh yeah, that's like one of the best dreams you can ever have. And it's a recurring dream. It's not like every week, but it's been multiple times that I've had the dream of flying, where I can just arch my back and swoop down and fly as high as I want. And what's odd about that is that I'm normally afraid of heights, but when I'm flying in my dreams, there's no fear. It's like I've been doing it all my life. What about you guys? So yeah, I got to give myself a check for that. I forgot to do that. Let me make sure I've got it. I was 11 out of 15 at one point. Yeah, I'm all caught up. All right. So number 18, prophetic dreams, visions, or mental suggestions that come later to pass. So you see things before they happen, in other words. And I give that a big hell yeah. Yeah, I've had a lot of dreams that have came to fruition. And it's cool when it happens. You're like, and then sometimes you have dreams that haven't came to fruition yet. Like the tidal wave dream I had, 3 tidal waves. Also had that vision of the event. Neither of those have happened yet, but we shall see. This is interesting too. Blind people have dreams. In conventions for the blind, they often segregate themselves as being born blind versus being advantageously blind, where blindness occurred after being able to see. That maybe when you were like 12 years old, you got hit in the head with a hockey puck, and became blind. My advantageously blind psychology of sleep and dreams professor stated that once he went blind, he still retained the ability to see in his dreams, but after a while, his dreams became more sensory related to touch, smell, and sound versus visual cognition. Just interesting. You don't think about that, because we're gifted with sight. And we know what an orange looks like, right? And it's the little things that perhaps we take for granted. So yeah, prophetic dreams was number 18. Number 19, being empathic, being an empath. Yeah. I think most of us are empaths. Number 20, having a desire to heal. Oh yeah, hell yeah. So, and we're gonna pause right here, right now. And if you guys just came in and you want to catch up with us, I'll go through this quickly, okay? Get a pen out right now and a piece of paper or some charcoal and a scroll, a crayon and a coloring book, something to write on. And we'll just cover the first 20 right here. So, and I'm curious what you guys, where are you right now And right now I'm 16 out of 20. How are you guys doing so far? So while you're putting, excuse me, while you're putting your answers in the chat, we'll cover the first 20 for those who missed out on something early. Now get your pen and paper out. Here we go. Some belly button lint. You saw the weekly astrology report apparently with Allie and me. All right, number one. And now what you need to do, if you agree with this, just give yourself a little mark, little hash mark. Hash mark. Came up with that word, hash mark. Pot mark, hash mark, little weed mark. Hash mark. All right, number one, an aversion to bright, unnatural lighting, yet you find solace in natural sunlight. So you don't like very bright LED lights. Number two, an aversion to reptiles, amphibians, and snakes. Number three, sensitivity to hot or cold. Number four, an extreme sensitivity to pain. Number five, a feeling of being very different from most others. Number six, a memory or memories of a profound experience around the ages of 5 to 9, usually having something to do with aliens, UFOs, or stars. This could also include spiritual visions of earth creatures and people. That's a lot to absorb. I'll read that one again for you. A memory or memories of a profound experience around the ages of 5 to 9, usually having something to do with aliens, UFOs, or stars. This could also include spiritual visions of earth creatures or people. Number seven, an obsession with the stars and or outer space. Number eight, having an imaginary childhood friend. Number nine, an attraction to the colors green, blue, and purple. Number 10, acute hearing or above average hearing. Number 11, extreme sensitivity to excessive or clamorous noise. Number 12, a driving need to get away from normal people to either be alone or seek out someone who shares your interests in spiritual matters. Number 13, an inner desire to know, an inner desire and knowing to do what is right, even though these things were not taught, but often feeling trapped as a child and expressing oneself in ways that are troubling to others. And the example I used on that was just being like in school and daydreaming and not paying attention in class because you didn't want to, at a higher level, you just didn't want to learn the indoctrination crap. Number 14, hyperactivity as a child. Number 15, extreme sensitivity or extreme tolerance to alcohol, medicines, or drugs. Number 16, creating within one's own mind fantasy worlds that often include alien life, journeys to other planets and places beyond stereotypical fantasies of Earth. Number 17, dreams involving flying in bodily form or astral projection. Number 18, prophetic dreams, visions, or mental suggestions that later come to pass, that come true. Number 19, being an empath. Number 20, having a desire to heal. So we've made it through 20. I've got 16 out of 20. Debbie's got 17. Jody's got 19. Wow. Susan, 5 out of 20. Okay. And if you have 0 out of 20, that's fine. If you're 20 out of 20, that's fine. You know, it's not a competition. It's just fun. Okay, so 21, having a desire to try to save the world or straighten out problems in the world. I think a lot of us have that. You know, my thing is when I figure out how to turn on all the codons in my DNA and RNA, I want to lay my hands down on Mother Earth and heal the air, water, and food supplies. And I also want to connect my higher self with every other higher self on the planet and heal them if they want healing. So yeah, got to give myself a check on that one. So 22, a solid belief that there is an all-powerful, all-knowing deity, even though you may not have been taught about God. Yeah, I don't use the word God. I use creator, source, universe. But yeah, definitely. And it's an all-loving creator. Definitely. Not just all-powerful and all-knowing. He's all-loving. 23, having a nagging feeling that most religions, both Orthodox and unorthodox, are missing some key elements in their teachings. Oh, hell yeah. Number 24, an almost obsessive desire to search out the missing elements of spiritual teachings not found in religions. Hell yeah. 25, missing time, extra slow time, or time speeding up. Have you experienced any of those? Yes, yes, and yes. Number 26, having experienced being in one place, then in the blink of an eye, being somewhere else. Teleportation by location. That happened to me when I was driving. Ended up, took a right on the street that had been, it's my home. It's where I lived. I knew exactly where I lived. And the next thing I know, I'm on a different street in a different part of town. Yeah. So 27, knowing you have been in a certain place, but others who you saw in the same place claim you were not there. So that involves invisibility, cloaking, or phasing. I don't know if I could say yes on that. I've felt many times, because when I go to any event, if this is the room where everyone's hanging out, I'm here, 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 or here in the corner watching everyone. So I'm kind of invisible to begin with. So I don't think I can give myself a check on that. 28, a connection to animals that's above average. Yeah. Yeah. And 29, telepathic communication with animals. That's fun. That's fun to do. And you will get a reaction out of, well, at least I have with my dogs. Number 30, attraction to birds of prey, such as hawks and eagles. I mean, they're interesting. I don't know. I don't what I say as much as an attraction. They're interesting. They're pretty. They're nice to watch. I mean, I'll watch like an osprey at the beach just circling down, and I'll tell, like, there's a father and his child there. I'll say, hey, check this out. And the osprey will go down the water, and with his talons, he'll pluck a fish out of the water. The fish will be flopping in his talons. It's fascinating to watch. So yeah, that's that's a bird of prey. It's not a hawk or an eagle, but yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. So we're through 30. I'm 25 out of 30 so far. How are you guys doing? Wow, Phil was 18 out of 20. Excellent. See, how many are there? There's 50. So we got 20 more to go. Okay. So 31. A special attraction to cats. All cats seem to be your friend. I like cats. Special attraction? No. No. Although Allie's cat, Mo, likes me more than he likes her. Of course, he's probably a homo. I think Ho is his first name. Mo is his middle name. 32. Attraction to power animals such as bear, wolf, or buffalo. Yeah. And I think that would also go for like totem animals, animals in your totem. Wow. You guys are kicking ass, doing really good. I'm looking at some of the Whispering Wind Psychic, 23 out of 30, Box 27 out of 30, Debbie 25, Mary Jane 23, Susan 11, Vera perfect 30 for 30, Jody 29 for 30, and Phil 26 of 30 now. He's a gangster cat. That's funny. Okay, so let's see. Number 33, power number, master number. An aversion to city living, strong desire to live in rural and natural environments. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to live, out in nature? My rural environment would be a house on the beach somewhere or a deserted island. That'd be awesome. At least like a deserted island. Fuck. Yeah. 34. Knowing something is gravely wrong with society without having this knowledge preached to you by doomsday prophets or conspiracy theorists. Don't make us sound like we're bad people. Let's just say knowing something is gravely wrong with society, and it is. If you're a normie, you're the problem. Actually, I can't say that. Some normies are just, they're here to hold energy, and they don't need to go down the rabbit hole. They don't need to try to prove or disprove conspiracy theories. They're just here holding that energy. They're that beacon of light, and they're exactly where they need to be, doing exactly what they need to be doing. So, yeah, where are we? 35. A very deep inner pull that seems to constantly make you aware that you are more than you are, and you need to be finding out what and why. So it's just knowing that you have a deeper purpose, and perhaps you're tapping into some of your natural abilities. And for me, it's my DNA, working on my DNA. Yeah. 36, extreme aversion to violence, fighting, and war. I mean, isn't that everybody? But I don't know, maybe some people love violence, fighting, and war. 37, having a deep desire to form a union with one person of the opposite sex for life, even having this urge as a child. I think that urge for many of us, for me, it's Allie, obviously. Finding that one person that makes you complete, your twin flame. It could even be your soulmate if your twin didn't incarnate with you. But yeah, having that feeling of wholeness and full, knowing that everything is perfect exactly the way it is with that person, and it always will be. Okay. 38, having an awareness of romantic attraction and love prior to the age of 10. Oh yeah, I had like little crushes on some of the girls in grade school. Yeah. Silly. But then again, you know, when I was in grade school, I was born in 1960. So when I was 6, that was the summer of love. And I remember the energy of that summer. I didn't understand it. I remembered it though. So, okay. Yeah. So I got to give myself a check. And 39, having blonde or red hair in your gene pool, even if your own hair is different. Everybody in my family had red hair except me. And my sisters would tease me, "You're adopted." I would cry myself to sleep at night, believing them. My parents never knew. And they didn't know until like maybe 10 years ago that my sisters did that to me. And they were so disappointed in my sisters for teasing me like that. And, you know, in retrospect, you know, looking back, if I was adopted, so what? At least I have a family that loves me, right? And that's all that matters. But sometimes older siblings can be pretty cruel. Number 40, being attracted to either very pale complexions or olive reddish complexions. Well, I got to give myself a check for that because I always tease Allie about her alabaster white skin. Okay, so where are we at here? I got 15, 30, 34 out of 40 so far. How are you guys doing? $34 out of 40. We got 10 more to go, right? Huh. Vicky said, "I was conceived in the summer of love. Why did you cry that you were adopted? I'm adopted and love is all that." I cried because my sisters made it sound like a bad thing. Oh, you know, you're adopted, you're not loved. We're the real children. It's like that. They were just cruel, you know. So it was just, my dad still gets upset about that. I can't believe they did that. If I knew that, I'd have tanned their ass. Jeez. That's what they did back in the days. I got spanked many times with a strap. Probably deserved them. But as my daughter will attest, never hit her. Never, not once. Not one time. Only yelled at her once, and that's because my ex-wife made me yell at her. Otherwise, I would have never yelled at her. 41. Oh, let's see how we're doing here. Okay, Debbie's got 33. Whispering has 33. Vox 34. Vera 39 and a half. That means Jody's catching up to you. She's got 38. You guys are kicking ass, doing really good. 41, having an above average IQ. I've taken that test for Mensa. It's for the Society for High IQ, and I think what it have me at, like 148 or something like that, which is, I don't know, it's above average. It's not genius, but it's above average. So I got to give myself a check. And I, you know, and that's all. It's You can be book smart or you can be street smart. And I think street smart is much more smarter than book smart. Book smart says you're good at conforming, right? I graduated with honors. Big fucking deal. I've learned so much more outside of college than I learned in college. 42. An aversion to either extreme male dominant religion or extreme female dominant religion, knowing there's a balance. I'd just say an aversion to religion. Religion to me is all about subservience, control, and conformity. It's the same template as every government. Subservience, control, and conformity. Enough. 43, an attraction to powerful things in nature, such as thunderstorms, lightning, waterfalls, and surf. Hell yeah. When the last hurricane came through Sarasota, I was still living on Siesta Key at the time. I may have been one of the last people to leave the island. It was just fascinating watching the surf and going out on the beach, and there's nobody, not one soul on the beach, just me. It's pretty cool. Wow, Allie's got 29 out of 30. Wow. Okay. Kind of hope I gave myself a check for that one. I don't know if I did or didn't. I have to go back and take a peek. I was 34 out of 40. Yeah, I'm all caught up. All right. So 44, attraction to ancient symbols, like hieroglyphics, or sometimes there's some like star language that people can't even decipher, but that's fascinating. You look at the different ways people wrote, or even like the Sumerian cuneiform. All that stuff's fascinating. Number 45, being an avid reader who drinks in knowledge quicker than the average person. I think a lot of us have done that too. And it doesn't have to be books. Think about everything that you've learned since your awakening, how much you've absorbed. I can pretty much assure you that many of us have learned more in the past 5-10 years than we have in our entire lifetime combined. And it's fun stuff that we learned, not crap that we learned in school. Okay, so 46. Just got 5 more left. Having an interest or attraction to such fields of science, such as archaeology, astronomy, or quantum physics. Hell yeah. Yeah. 47, an aversion to mundane employment, repetitive tasks, dead-end jobs, not satisfied with working for others, but more than willing to work doing something which you have yet to discover, but know is out there. Yeah, if you're self-employed, if you're just tired of working a shitty job for an a-hole of a boss, yeah, give yourself a little check on that. 48, an aversion to sexual joking, racial joking, or foul language. Fuck that. I do swear. And I will tell sexual jokes with Allie. Sorry, hon. But yeah, I'm being honest. Yeah, we'll joke about certain things sexually. 49, expectation of great changes upon Earth in the near future. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I think most of us expect that too. And here we go. Last one. Oh. Number 50. A nagging suspicion that you are more than your parents' offspring, that you have some unfulfilled mission, and that the implications of these matters have powerful and eternal consequences for both yourself and the earth. I would say that if you feel like Earth is not your home, you could probably give yourself a check for that one too. Okay, so if you said yes to even half of these, there's a good chance that you're a starseed. If you have answered 35 or more of these as a positive, as a yes, if you gave yourself a little check mark for at least 35 of them, you most likely are a starseed, especially if you answered yes to some of the deeper traits in some of these questions that they had out there. So how did you guys do? I had 42 out of 50. That's what Whispering had also, I see. And I'm putting a link in the chat for you guys if you guys want to join me in the chat. Come on in, the water's fine. Hi, Melissa.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for letting us on. That's cool.
That was fun.
I'm wearing one of your t-shirts.
Yeah. I think you have another order coming out soon.
I do. I had another gift I had to give him that I'm like, I need a twin one. So I got 3.
Yeah. I'm just fulfilling all my orders right now. And yeah, I got a bunch of stuff that's out there. As a matter of fact, I heard the dryer ring with the Cosmic Lightning shirts that I was doing. So sitting in the dryer, getting nice and wrinkled.
Yeah.
How many did you end up with?
I think I got the same as you. I think I got 42 out of 50.
Okay, that's really good.
Yeah.
So
but I know I'm a starseed, so that's no surprise to me. So I remember as a child looking out, out in the cosmos and thinking, we're it? Come on, really? I was probably in grade school. Like, how could anybody believe this? I thought to myself, Well,
look at your background. Of course you are.
Yeah.
See, Vera ended up with 49 out of 50. Debbie had 43. Mary Jane, 41. Jody, 48. Vera, potty break. Susan, 20. And she said, I do think I'm a starseed. I believe you. And my love, Allie, 37 out of 50. So, yeah. Hey, Phil, how'd you end up doing?
Well, I kind of lost count there, but I was up into about 30. I'm going to say, no, I was up into the 40s.
You were kicking ass initially. You were like 11 for 11 or something like that.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just a couple of them that I remembered that I could check off, but
I should do.
I don't care because I know I'm a starseed because.
It's just fun to check out. I'm going to put a link to that article on N5D in the chat, so you guys can check that out. And if you missed out, hi baby. If you missed out on what we were doing, you can check that out there, and then see how many you got. And if you're doing this on the recorded version, put your answers below and let us know below on how many you got as well.
Yeah.
That was fun though. It was fun, a fun little test to do. And chances are everyone's a starseed. If they follow N5D, yeah.
Well, if you ask the question, am I a starseed? You probably are one. You may not have been like a recent one, but you might have been one in the past. Because I didn't get as high a score because I've been on this planet before. In fact, I worked myself off of this planet once, God damn it, and here I come back again.
Did you ever hear that song by Bowie, Starman? There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet you.
Yep. Yeah, it was pretty good. I like David Bowie.
Yeah. Hi, Bira.
Hi.
Hi, Rob.
Hi, everyone.
Hi,
Hello.
baby.
Hello.
Did you take the test, Rob?
Yeah, I kind of went along with it. Okay, 43.
Wow, that's great.
Hi.
Yeah.
I got mine wrong. I went 30 instead of 40. I basically was 20. Mine was 37. That's it.
That's still good. It's above 35. They said it, according to that article.
Yeah.
But we all know that, we're all star seeds. Like I said, even who was that was in the chat that got 20 and said, I'm a star seed. Susan. Yep.
I had to say no. Am I attracted to alabaster skin? I knew you'd say yes, because obviously you haven't got a choice.
Yeah.
But no, I like your color skin. I've always been attracted to tanned people. So we both got what we wanted.
We did.
So I got to say, Yara's got pretty white alabaster skin too.
Bloody England.
Yeah.
Bloody England.
My
Oh,
ass alabaster white.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey, I was gonna say, what another really great quality of being a starseed is? We look so much younger than what we actually are.
Oh, well, yeah.
Mhm.
I'll confirm that. I mean, I was well into my 60s before I started looking 50.
Do you think that that's to do with feeling lighter and happier as well?
Yeah, I do. I feel like it's that inner.
Your vibration is higher, and therefore you haven't got that misery face.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, the bad thing about it is when you are living on your own, you get someone at the door while you're 30, and they ask to talk with your mom or dad.
I had that happen to me. I really did. I had my kids, and they were like, "Is your mom home?" I'm like, "I am the mom." That was fun.
I had that on.
You should have went, "Mom."
Too.
I know. Yeah, it was funny. I was like, okay.
I've had that a couple of times, and even eventually one even made it really bad because both my mom and dad were passed away, and they were adamant to speak to my parents.
Mm-hmm.
So I gave them the address where they lived. I never heard from them again.
Very good.
That's funny.
Very
Told
good.
them, well, then you have to go to the graveyard and hope you're really good at talking with spirits.
Yeah.
I think that list should also have something on there with children. Are children attracted to you? Because my daughter and I and Allie are like children magnets. They come up to us. I think it's because they either see our energy or see our auras, something like that. But it's
childlike spirit. We still carry like that childlike innocence. That's what they're attracted to. They see that. My dad was like that too.
I had it the other way around.
Hell no, that's
Especially
been
the young
beaten out of me a
children.
long time ago, that child. Not that I didn't have it, I just got beat out of me.
Still there though, bro.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I can be childlike, I guess, at times, but I try.
Well, when we have that in 5D meetup, when Allie comes here and you fly over to the East Coast, I hope it rains because we're gonna all make rain hats and jump in mud puddles.
No, when I come to Florida, I'm going to go jump in the ocean, and I won't care what temperature. It's a hell of a lot warmer than the water I jumped in out here.
Oh yeah. I think it's 78 right now.
Vera's
yeah.
been trying to say something for the last kind of few minutes, so I just thought, go Vera, go get in there quick.
Well, very young children I've had throughout my life, when they looked at me, they started crying, like panicking. They didn't want to be close, but probably because I looked straight through them. And the way I feel it now, that it was probably, I want that too, kind of cry.
Mm.
Especially when I was still, well, about 30, 40 years ago. That so many children never got a chance to express their voice.
Probably, yeah. I've just had something weird happen here. I'm just doing my receipts for my accounts, and on it, it's got Starling Deposit PCA, Everyday Banking.
Wow.
Starling, is that to do with the money system? The money?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, Starlink. That it could mean that the person that sent it is using the Starlink.
No, it's my receipt for postage that I sent.
Oh, well, that's kind of weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And that was not before?
No, never noticed that before ever.
Isn't that one of Elon Musk's?
That's what I
Yeah, it
thought.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've heard that it's supposed to be linked to the quantum system. So I don't know. Maybe we're going there.
Yeah. Honestly, it's on here. It's on a post office receipt here.
And your package already had a notification that it was going to be arriving today, but I haven't seen it.
Oh, yeah. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Weird. I did myself some dinner. You know, we had that break. And then, because we was on live, weren't we, doing readings. I had my break and I had to call Greg quickly because I went through the kitchen. I'd made myself some in batter, some prawns in batter. I came back with my dish. I put it down and I noticed right in the center of it was a white feather.
No.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. And there's no way that a white feather is. I didn't open a tumble dryer. I went from the kitchen to here. So I know that was a sign. And that's because you lot made me cry.
What?
This is
So
I
the
just
angel
put up a
came and
link,
dropped
Ellie.
a feather for you, huh?
They made me cry.
I just put up a link with
It was a
little
good cry.
explanation.
It was a good cry. It was a good cry. You lot were very, very lovely and sweet.
I apologize. I ruined your makeup.
Yeah, you did it. You topped it right over the top.
Well,
When
think
someone's
I've
kind
collected
to
it
you,
all
you
the
kind of
time.
like, oh God, I can't go with this.
I think I've collected it all to.
So I think that's where the feather came from, because there was heightened emotions and things, and I think they just dropped a feather on my dinner, like you do. Yeah. So
I
It was a
didn't
white
notice.
feather, right?
yeah. Oh, please don't say I've lost it. I'm going to put it in resin and keep it.
Hey, it didn't. Wait a minute. Didn't copy.
What have you just sent, Vera?
Well, wait. It didn't send the right address. Link address copy. So I'll put it in. No, that's about the sterling deposit.
It said sterling on there, did it?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's, yeah, the first one that was, it didn't copy correctly. Sometimes I have to do it twice. But now I have put the link in, and that's, it's talking. Oh yeah, you have to go to the.
I've lost That's my feather.
It's a proper bank. And when you do some research on it, you can deposit it with them. The sterling
Oh, is it?
deposit. It's a sterling. That's a sterling is a bank.
Ah,
Oh, there it is.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a feather. That also gets used making nests for baby birds.
yeah. I hadn't been out in the garden at all. Yeah. So what did
Maybe
you guys
Mo
all
brought
get?
it in.
No, he wasn't in. No. What did you guys all get in the test?
Well, I did rate 2.5 points because that was a yes and a no.
Ah, yeah.
So, yeah, 49 out of 50.
Wow, that's high. Yeah. Yeah. That's really
Yeah, I got about 43 out of 50.
That's also high. Yeah.
I got
So
42.
consider who I channel.
Yes, that's high. 42. That's high.
Yeah.
I should have been higher.
Got 41.
41. So you guys are all in the 40s. What did you get, Greg?
42.
42. Yeah. Wow. Hi, Eric.
Oh,
up,
Hi. Oh. And hello, Rob.
Howdy.
What did you get, Rob?
Oh, that thing. 43.
43. Wow. Wow.
Something that gentle. There was a couple of them had to weigh because they could have gone in different directions. So I had to sit there and okay, which. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, work.
Yeah. It was a good one though. It was good.
So in the chat, Linda's saying, I just located my Starseed confirmation reading I had done on June of 2019. I'm going to share it in the class group chat. Okay.
Okay.
I had one of those done when I found out about you, Greg, learned about you on Starseed Academy. Then I reached out and
Lavendar.
contacted Lavendar, and they did my reading, and she confirmed. And then she told me I needed to contact someone else that I don't even know astrology that well. The triangles all came together, and she said it was rare and that all my karma had been paid up, and I needed to talk to, what's the other lady's name? I forgot.
Don't remember.
In the group, and talk to her about an additional reading because there was something she wasn't sure to tell me.
Oh, wow.
I never did.
Yeah. Did you have your solar return done with her?
No, I didn't get that one done.
Yeah.
And it was saved on an MP3, but that computer died, so I don't have that reading.
It does.
I just
Isn't
have
that
the,
frustrating? Yeah.
yeah, it was cool though. It was very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I did a show. She was on N5D radio one time, and we talked about starseed markings and
Yeah,
yeah, pretty cool.
that was way back 2013, I believe.
Melissa, you want to talk about that?
well, I'd rather talk to you guys before I talk about something like that, because it was, I can channel, the Galactic Federation of Light, but these beings that I had the contact with in this experience that I just wrote about were not of the benevolent kind. So that's why, yeah. It actually, the experience I had I not had the spiritual friends that I have, it was kind of shattering in a lot of ways, but I'm okay now. And I feel like my experience, I'm really here to help people because of the experience I had, so I can help others if they're not experiencing anything that's so great. I don't know if you've all heard of Elena Denon. She's actually talking
my mum
about this now.
She talks about her all the time. She said, "You've got to watch it. You've got to watch her," and I haven't.
Yeah, you should check her
What's her
out.
name?
Elena Denon.
Yeah, I'm subscribed to her.
Yeah, Denon. She's from France, I believe, and she's living in Ireland right now.
Yeah.
Yep. And she was, I think she's an archaeologist as well.
Right. Yeah. She worked with Hawassi, which makes me question a little bit about her right there.
Yeah. Well, it's like everything. You take what resonates, and then you leave what does not, And so
Well, that's the reason why I'm still subscribed to her, because when she told me that, it was like, ooh, big red flag for me.
Yeah.
I mean, because I've seen that guy in action, and he doesn't impress me at all.
I'm not familiar with him, but yeah.
Yeah, he's he was the deputy of the antiquities there in Egypt, and he really milked that job and he
knows a lot more than what he's saying too.
Right, he hides things, and he's a deep state tool, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I mean, he just and the funny thing is, do you know who put him through college and he turned on him like a dirty dog? ARE. They paid for a lot of his college. Yeah.
Well, Casey said that, what was it? One of the
there was a library underneath the Sphinx foot.
Paul. Yeah.
Right, Paul. Yeah. And they've done some work in there and tried to go into that place too. Hawass did, but he didn't say anything about what he found there, did he? Same thing with the other tunnel, the bird tunnel that oh gosh, what was the guy's name? It's the one that talks all about the signet. He's a kind of a British dude. I can't remember his name now. But anyway, there's a bird cave, and they went into it and they discovered this other cave system, and they kind of stopped because of they didn't have the proper equipment. They would have needed oxygen and whatnot, because it was really bad air. But I heard that Hawass went in there, and now they've got that locked off, so you can't go in there.
Was that Graham Hancock?
No, not Graham Hancock. It was Andrew something. Andrew.
Melissa, what group was that? The not so friendly channeling. What?
Oh no, it wasn't. I didn't channel them. I was actually in my bed, sleeping, and I was listening to a podcast, and it was actually of a SETI ranch out there in Oregon. I was like really fascinated with all of that, and that's when these energies came in, and I had my first experience with them. So it's been trying to figure all of this out ever since then. Don't know if I ever will, but I've gotten a lot of answers. So it's been an interesting journey.
So where are they from?
Well, that I'm not really sure of.
Do you want to know?
They're not from here. Yeah, tell me. Where are they from?
The Ryans, and they're Greys.
Yeah.
That's
what somebody told me. Yeah. I mean, I've seen them, but I don't know. Telepathically more like that. Yeah. It was like straight out of Star Wars when the lightsaber opens up and the R2D2 that noise came in with them, and but like I heard them as like we would speak, but like kind of like a muffled, kind of low voice kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay, so I was just curious because I've channeled beings from Zeta Reticuli, and and it was all telepathically, but I could hear it audibly,
Mhm,
and it sounded like a male and a female voice layered on top of each other.
mhm, mhm. Yeah,
So
that's interesting. Yeah.
so if that's not what you heard, then I would say they're probably not from Zeta Reticuli, but
Mhm.
it could still well be a number of places in Orion's belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm hearing that there's over 30 worlds just in one star system that they're
Mhm.
inhabiting. No, they have
Mhm.
they're throughout that sector of the whole Orion anomaly that's chock
Mhm.
full of them.
Mhm.
Pretty much
And
driven everything else out.
yeah, I think what's interesting is, we just see ourselves as this, but they know who we are. See, that's the thing. So that's they can find us, they know who we are. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but that's because they kind of like to prey upon us when we're in this state because we won't remember we aren't as powerful as they wouldn't be able to touch us where we come from.
Hmm. Yeah. Yep.
This is the only
Yeah,
way
they-
they get a chance at us is on this planet,
Hmm.
unfortunately.
Hmm.
But that's going to change.
Yeah, I feel that too. Definitely.
Yeah. No, it's coming sooner than we think too.
Hmm. Well, I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that to all go away.
Well, I mean, we might not want it when it comes because it might be a little hard, but
Yeah.
yeah, because I'm beginning to feel that it's going to be an X-class CME.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Play.
I mean,
Soon?
I've been resisting saying this, so I'm sorry, folks, if I'm dropping it on you guys, but yeah.
You may as well say, and here's your tarot forecast for Libra on top of that.
I'm sorry, Greg. I didn't mean to.
Really shit on us Librans.
Hey, I'm a Libran too.
Look,
I'm a Libra rising. You know,
Tower
I figured
card.
You can tell
Yeah, right off the bat,
You know?
tower.
it. I can be straight with other Librans, can I?
Libra rising as well.
How you been? How you been, Eric? Haven't seen you. in a
Oh,
while, man.
I've been good. I've been busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, some big stuff's coming up here pretty soon for me. Just having to kind of do a little dance to kind of make sure I keep things on track, to make sure I'm successful in the opportunities that are coming up.
All right.
So far, so good. I had gotten my downloads or whatever last October, November, and it really spoke all the way up detailed until June, till the end of June. And I had a girl that read my cards that I'm familiar with, and she hit on all the points that I had gotten. And so it seems like a lot of this stuff that I've shut down all my life, I'm really like super dialed in a way that's, it's not to like go out here and do stuff for other people. It's just for my own, development. But just like a lot of the things that we might think are our thoughts or the way we're thinking about something, it's actually me receiving information. And I'm constantly getting validation from outside sources that those things are on. So the big things here, speaking about caves, it's here Easter Sunday and the Monday before that. Last year, I got a street bike that I saw in my dreams. And every time I've been on that bike, I've seen something on each excursion that I've seen in my dreams. And sometimes more than others.
It's a
But-
magical street bike.
Yeah, I call her my soulmate. And so I knew this one place that I was supposed to go. And I was looking up on Google how to get there using back roads. And I saw this little tag came up and it said, Greenback Castle. And I was like, what? A castle in East Tennessee? I was like, I got to check this out. And when I went and looked at it, I was like, oh my God, I've seen this place since like high school in my dreams. So and it was right on the way. So I mapped that out. And when I went on that one, I was probably gone for like 5 or 6 hours, which is a pretty big thing for me and my coming out of my disabilities. And I swear, like everything that I saw was basically straight out of my dreams. For the last 30 years, I've had dreams that have showed me different parts. So even the places where I got lost, I would see a gas station. I was like, I've seen that in my dreams. I need to pull over and stop and ask directions. And then I would see the person that I saw in my dreams. I was like, I guess this is the person I need to talk to. And so I'd talk to him. And my daughter was supposed to go with me, but she's still kind of getting acclimated to doing your own spiritual work, you know. But on Easter Sunday, we ended up going to another place, and the same thing basically happened, except for now my daughter's on the back of the bike. We're getting lost, but I've seen all these places, and then we get there, and it's this old abandoned Indian cave resort, and it was just phenomenal. And like all the videos that you see online, it's pretty much locked down since 2010, but people are crawling in like natural ways to get in there. But when we walk up, the gate had been like plasma cutted or whatever. So we went through, and there was this, we went as far as we could in there, but like y'all were saying earlier, we didn't have the right equipment to like go too deep in here. So we were about to walk out, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, I think there's another room over here. And so we went over there, and it was really, really dark. And all we had was my daughter's cell phone flashlight, which wasn't doing much, but she would take her camera and take pictures. And so the flash would kind of light everything up for a few seconds and we could see. And I'm like having major deja vu the whole time we're in there. And we see this whole other room, and like there's like these windows kind of at the bottom of the next wall. So there's like windows on the floor going into another room. And as we're walking away from that, I just got this really, really strong presence that there was a spirit in there, and it was behind us in that room. And then I started having days. We got home, she developed pictures or downloaded them. And I messaged her before she sent them to me. And I said, did you feel anything when we were walking out of that last room? Because I felt like there was a spirit behind us. And then like an hour later, she sends me the pictures, and there's this huge orb in one of the pictures right where I felt like it was. And so it was just a major bonding experience for my daughter and I, and like this uncovering of my soul's journey, which is prepping me for the next excursion in June, which is going to be even gonna have to go 5.5 hours just to get this place. And I'm like, can I do it? Can I do it? But, you know, Spirit's like settled me with all these other things going, you question whether you could do it or not last time and the time before, and you did it. So I'm just kind of, you know, moving forward.
So do you still have premonitions of things that haven't happened yet?
Yeah. The way I usually get them is just like intuitive or downloads or psychic feeds. Like when I was riding my bike about 2 months ago, I was seeing things that I saw, but then I went to a road that I hadn't been on probably ever. And I started getting information about a teacher that I had in school. And I started getting like, she's not doing very good. And I got kind of like stroke, but not a stroke. It's more of like a brain thing where your muscles and your brain aren't communicating well. And I was like, wow. And so I kind of felt like, well, I don't know if I'm, you know, just thinking of things after I get a negative hit. And because you can get a negative hit and then your mind could kind of wander. But my daughter's mother took me to the well to get water 2 days ago, and I walk out and carrying jugs out of the car, and this guy's standing at the back of his truck, and he's like just looking at me, and I'm like, and he was like, "You don't know who I am, do you?" And I was like, I'm usually good about remembering faces, like, no. And I'm looking at, he's got like a work shirt with his name on there. I'm like, is that your name, or are you just wearing a work shirt? And he was like, that's my name. And he was like, we used to work together at Walmart. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, what department were you wearing? He was like, cart pusher. I'm like, still not ringing a bell. He was like, Jake Berry. And I was like, oh man. I was like, how's your mom? And this is who I got information on like a couple months before. And he told me everything that I got in the downloads. And I was like, wow, man, well, you know, make sure and tell her that, you know, I've got her in my prayers and stuff. And, but that's what
I thought you were going to say, you know, he's who, you don't remember me? No, I was that orb.
right. But I'm working on my
How cool would that have
dream.
been?
Yeah, that would have been really well.
Right.
But I'm working on connecting because we live in a world of duality. You know, everything's either black or white, and you got all this gray, and you got the stuff that we can't see that makes up everything in between.
Sure.
And we have our conscious and our subconscious. And so when we're dreaming, we're in some kind of, wherever you are in your dialogue with yourself, you're in some kind of correlation with your subconscious. And so my subconscious all my life has been feeding me the future. And so that when I get there, I can kind of be at ease and kind of say, okay, well, I'm where I'm supposed to be, or whatever. Or sometimes I know it before it's coming in, and I can kind of navigate. And so
do you ever feel like I've done this before? That
yeah.
we're reliving something that we've already done.
Yeah, people call it deja vu, and I identify with the deja vu, but I feel like deja vu is just like a little bit to get you asking questions. And once you start asking questions, then you start developing a relationship with your subconscious. And then your subconscious will start feeding you information, because your subconscious is directly linked with your soul and all the information that you forgot when you came through your mother's portal. So part of getting past duality is actually, you know, connecting your conscious and your subconscious. So for the last 4 or 5 years, I've been working on it. I met a girl over Facebook that I had dreams of her dreams. And so I knew that you can heal yourself in your dreams. And one night I was getting ready to go to bed, and I was like, I was kind of almost like frustrated with myself. I was like, I'm going to turn on YouTube. And there she was. And she started talking, and she just kind of said the things that I needed to hear in the moment. And she was like, well, you know, if you're not getting it, going lucid and being aware and getting these breakthroughs that I've been working on, she was like, you're probably being too hard on yourself. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. That's me. It's like, you know, you got to, you know, be in the childhood, like love and zest for it, and like really be inquisitive. And so I've been working on that the last 2 months, and I've been getting some breakthroughs, but I just still working on it. So I feel like all the things I'm moving through in the physical, in the conscious state, and then all the things that I'm moving through in the subconscious or the dream realm are starting to progress, but I have to move forward on both levels all the time. It's kind of like a teeter-totter moving forward.
Sometimes seems like the dream world is more real than the waking world.
Yes. And that's a key. Like last night I had this dream, and I really, really could not tell. I thought I was awake, but I knew that I wasn't. And what I've been getting kind of in a lull, I don't want to say stuck, because I'm not stuck, I'm moving forward, but making that conscious reality, and then doing what they call reality checks. So for me, I know that I'm in a dream, but I can't consciously like start doing things like I used to do in my dreams or something like go fly here or do this. And so I'm just almost like in observation mode and fascinated and kind of watching a movie, but I need to get in the director's chair. And so when I woke up this morning, I was like, whoa, I said exactly what you said. It's like, I literally sometimes can't tell. And so now in my waking to do my reality checks, I'm like, whoa, you literally almost have to be like in the moment, like not trick yourself, but be genuine and heartfelt and say, am I dreaming right now? And then you have to say, okay, well, to check, I need to do a reality check. So one way is you can count your fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I got 10 fingers, because if you're in a lucid state, you'll probably have like 12 fingers or 7 fingers, or something will be off. And so you want to do a reality check. And then once you do the reality check, you can start consciously being in your subconscious and start that relationship.
Well, you know, in the dream state, that's when that's when Allie came to me.
Right. Yes.
And she, on a higher level, she knew how to find me, tuned into our frequency. It's one other person with the same frequency. She beelined it from the UK to here in my dreams instantaneously. And, you know, that's real. That's stuff, you know.
That's the magic.
Exactly. And it's sometimes hard to differentiate reality from the dream.
But then once you saw her in real life, you're like, whoa, and everything starts clicking and making sense.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, whoa. And so, yeah, I've got some soul family members that we're working together to consciously astral travel lucidly in the dream and meet up, and then work with our higher self and other, you know, whoever we're supposed to work with, because we've actually had the exact same dream. So like back in 2002, I had this dream where I was in this room and I was to the, there was a water bed to the left of me. And I was like, that's not my water bed. I don't know. And then like, I look back and there's this woman sitting in front of me, Indian style with her legs crossed, but we both have blue skin. And we're like meditating. And I'm like, I bet this is her waterbed. And I bet this is her apartment or something. And then we meet in like 2014 and we're hooking up and all this stuff and everything's clicking. And then like in 2015 or 16, she tells me about this dream that she had. And she tells me the exact same dream that I had, but from her perspective. And
Wow.
so I was like, oh, yes, I've had that exact same dream. So again, it's kind of like you and Allie. It's, you know, we're all one, but we came here as individuals to have a much more in-depth, you know, growth process. And so what better way than to work together on spiritual levels that only our soul really, really knows the whole extent of it. And we have to kind of puzzle piece it all together by doing the work in the physical.
And finding the time to do it.
Yeah, or making the time.
Yeah.
Because there's so many distractions out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm totally excited. And you know, you all have always been like just a monumental aspiration, and seeing you all get together and make the strides and the community that you all have, it really, you know, sometimes we all get kind of in that melancholy state, and you know, just to reflect on the people that we know and to see what they're doing, and you know, Greg, what you've been through, and Allie, and just to see your energies and the way you're present, it always, you know, keeps me going as well. So thank you all for being you, you know.
Dude, man, before I signed on here, I was thinking, aren't we all incredibly blessed to have each other?
Yeah.
Yep.
And it just hit me really, really hard from the heart. You know, it's just a wonderful, amazing, beautiful community of souls. You know, it's like today, you know, Allie did a reading for her, or she showcased some of her students, and it was a beautiful thing. But, you know, people were showing their love for Allie, you know, and their appreciation, and it was very touching. And, you know, and that's part of what we do, you know, is to make a difference in people's lives in a positive way. And, you know, and it'll look great in your soul review when you get to see that, honey. But I know you feel the same way as me. It's like, you know, yeah, I'm sure that'll be fine, but there's still a lot of work we got to do right now.
Yep. And yes, it's work, but it doesn't feel like work. It just feels like something that you want to jump out of bed and do.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh God, I've got to go to work. I've got to do this. You don't feel like that.
It's more like a dream come true. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
As long as you're following your bliss, you're not really working, are you?
No, no, definitely not.
Aileen in the chat. Go ahead.
Excuse me, I'm doing my accounts here in the, you know, so I'm not trying to be rude.
That's
I'm
okay.
just doing my accounts in the background. Okay.
I have a question for Eric.
Yeah.
When you all were traveling inside this cave, did you feel like you've been there before?
Yeah. I mean, I
Like
was
from
having
another lifetime. Because that's a message I got, that you from another lifetime. I don't know, Native American or pioneer. You were in that cave before. That's why it was familiar to you.
I don't know if you can see all those hairs and those goosebumps as you're telling me that.
Let's
But
see him.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, I did get that. And
Yeah,
there's
you've been there before.
there's a lot of connections that I have with the indigenous communities, especially the Native Americans. The next big excursion that I was talking about, that we're gonna have to go 5.5 hours just to get there, that's gonna be dealing with Native Americans and the Native American mounds and stuff.
And the orb was in the picture.
Yeah.
You knew that orb in another lifetime. That was some other Native American that was recognized you, even though you're in this different. Yeah.
There
I
they go
don't know.
again.
Today was a good day. I was in Allie's class today.
Yeah. Well, you're spot on right there.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and that cave actually has documented, I don't remember where it's out of, but you can look it up. There was a skeleton that was removed from the cave, and it was dated over 3,000 years old.
Oh yeah, this has been a long time ago. I mean, this wasn't just 100 years, but you've been there before, and the orb recognized you when you walked into that cave. You all knew each other from whatever that lifetime was. Yes. And that's why I've got a male energy. We came out to see you.
Yeah. That's what I felt like, a male energy. Yes, you're lighting it up.
Nice.
That's why I think my next
shirt. And then Stephanie's saying, I'm not ready to do a reading. And now
I still have to learn these. I can do intuitive stuff, but the cards still stump me.
Use the cards the way I do.
I am. That helped me today. Thank you very much, Vera. And Melissa, I have a thing for you about the grays. I'm still learning. I've always been interested in extraterrestrials and, we're starseeds, Palladians. And I've learned that we can actually come, we can be Palladians, Syrians, Orions, Arcturians, all over. But the grays are, some of them are what's the word,
Mechanical.
malevolent, where they're bad and malevolent. And then some are kind of like droids.
Yeah, they're
Like-
mechanical. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's like different classes of grays. So you're saying these were kind of bad?
Well, I didn't experience them as anything uplifting or positive. So, yeah.
Do you think they were the droid ones? Like,
I think they were cloaked. Like when I actually saw them, a lot of times they cloak. So it's the way I saw them would be more like how can I explain it? Not like almost like reptilian, but not. That's the only way I
Okay.
can explain it. Yeah. But
Yeah.
that doesn't necessarily mean that that's what they look like, because they can cloak. So
Well, I
That's
mean,
inter-
there is also a gray that comes from the reptilian. I mean, these are
Yeah.
often biological energies. In other words, they're controlled by the queen.
Okay.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure
I've
what
heard
the hell
that.
that queen's name is, but there is
Yeah.
a massive computer or AI presence there in the Orion Belt. And
Mhm.
that's when you talk about those droids, that's what they're
Okay.
about. And they can be just as well. She's kind of, from what I understand, I can't come up with the right word for it, but she's not necessarily evil. She's just bad, you know. I don't know.
Yeah. She's,
A good
Yeah.
kind of evil, and a nice kind of evil.
No, a neutral kind of evil. She's just, everything. She's kind of a controlling.
because one of the things that I learned, I think it was the Starseed Academy, like at least twice a year, the Galactics come and check on certain lineage of people. It's in the spring and one's in the fall. And they come back and check on us. And I know when I was younger, I woke up when they were putting me back. And I remember looking up and like at the ceiling and, doing like that. And, but I've never had any, and I don't remember anything much, but I've never had any bad experience, like a lot of people talk about. I've never had anything. It was, and they took me to see hybrid children, the babies. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was interesting. And I don't talk about that ever.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like when you're in your home, in your bed, and you get swept out, that's,
Yeah.
that's not a fun experience. So that,
Not
and
at
then
all.
what they did was not fun. So, that's my experience. And a lot of people in the spiritual communities won't talk about, the malevolent beings, the ones that, kind of see us as like, cattle maybe, or maybe
Breeding
perhaps
stock.
maybe we're an archaeological dig to them, but we're still alive. I mean, there's so many things, you know what I'm saying? Like we're relics, but we're actually like in this now moment, and so who knows why they need us? Like there's so many other things that
Right.
can be going on. So, but it, for whatever reason, I remembered it, and most people wouldn't remember it. But the fact that I have abilities and I was fully, aware, and I'm in my abilities is probably why I experienced them and saw them where most people wouldn't even have remembered,
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
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 It's not often that you get somebody who's got that clear a vision of it.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, you do have to be aware that there are so there's several kinds of grays, I'm being told, and there's one that's called the Mitar, and they are malevolent. I mean, they actually hate us, and will do all sorts of nasty stuff to us. Now, there's the ones under the Queen. I mean, they just look at us as a product, right? They were
Experiment.
Mhm.
a experiment, a breeding stock, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. And then the reptilians, it kind of depends. More reptilian grays, a lot of them are under that AI control. There are some that aren't. And they can be just like anybody else, but they're going to be a little bit more like a reptile,
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
more in that smaller brain. They'll be going into that one, anytime, and then and they kind of are afraid of us because we're not under any kind of control and we could do anything.
Mhm.
So
Right.
that puts them into that kind of fight or flight kind of energy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. But what's interesting, as we're all talking about this, I think about human beings and how we are just as a whole, like just what's going on in our world right now. And if we had the ability, to actually travel in the technology that they have, would we put it past ourselves to do some of the things that they do to us, perhaps, maybe, So, I mean, if you really
Well,
think about that kind of thing, it kind of, I was just sitting here thinking about
yeah.
that. So, we sit here in judgment and think, like they're the worst thing, that could ever happen to us, which, feels like that to me, like why did they, bother with me? But I don't know those answers. I probably won't know them all in this lifetime. But yeah, when you think of us,
We've got that
I
reptilian
wouldn't
brain.
do it. I wouldn't, but there are human beings that would, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Well, it's interesting
we
that
all
you
have a
said that,
reptilian brain, right?
because your words were what, or I may misquote you, but would some of us do the same things that they did? So some of the grays, like y'all are saying, there's many different types of grays. Some of them are time jumpers, and some of them were us, and we made bad decisions, and we ended up like pretty much rutting ourselves into this canal where we can't reproduce. And so that's why some of them are using us as reproductive, we call them experiments, but you were chosen because you're a genealogical representation of them. So that's why they're using those certain lineages to reproduce in some cases, not all cases.
Yeah, I agree. Because, I have heard it said, we are them and they are us. So, I mean, we don't understand it because it's just also, it's deep. So, we're just trying to like figure it out from our perspective.
Yeah.
And,
we're in the process of.
Yeah. Only like in the beginning process, it feels like, we're kind of like, okay.
It's like Greg's new shirt, the cosmic lightning strikes us, and we're like, whoa, okay. All right. Epiphany.
It's funny. Yeah.
No, I mean, you're right. So there's a saying in the esoteric about as above, so below. So what we see down on this planet is what we will see out there. And we go with the full spectrum, right? As you said, there are some of us that we wouldn't touch any of this stuff that they're doing, but there's other us that would go far beyond that.
Yeah.
Right.
And a lot of those are working in these underground bases.
Yeah, well, I can speak, maybe, I don't know, a lot of us are from previous Atlantis, so I know those of us who would not. We've already been there and we're ringing the karma bell.
Right, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
In the end, it was, and we started out pretty nice, we were doing, we were really progressing, and then we just kind of got, I don't know, we just
sidetracked.
Well,
waylaid.
There were other races coming in and influencing us because we were communicating in contact with the galactics at that point in time, and I think we just got in with a bad crowd and went the wrong way. bad
Yeah,
business
start
times.
smoking cigarettes and drinking.
Well, if that were all we had done, we wouldn't be in this spot right now. I'm telling you, we were doing a lot worse. Ask Greg about that. I mean, yeah, it's some, the myths of Crimea, of the horseman and the werewolf and all that. Yeah, we were doing all that kind of
Oh, yeah.
we were
Oh, yeah,
doing that.
absolutely.
So, yeah, I mean, I can see this as also as something karmic for those that have come back at this time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well, that's
I
what I was
actually,
thinking about, what you were saying about, these malevolent beings that want to harm us. I mean, a lot of us, okay, yeah, we're here in the third dimension, but yet we're having recollections of previous lifetimes, and we understand karma. Don't they, if they're higher dimensional or more advanced beings, don't they understand karma the way we do?
Well, I mean,
Or does it not matter to them?
Some of them are serving the bigger picture. So they are the script or the movie character that is the footsteps to our progression. So we need that negative experience. We need somebody to try to control us so that we can step up and go, oh, no. But until we do that, then,
yeah, I agree on that one, Eric.
yeah, I also feel like it's in this universe, we are under the law of, well, what we would think as love, like that oneness, and perhaps maybe the universe that they fall under, they're not under that law of love or universe, creator like that. So, there's also that to ponder, so there's a lot to think about.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot to think about for sure.
Yeah.
Especially when you're talking about that coming from oneness, because this is what the higher realms are all about, right? Is this law of one, and this is the lesson that they've been trying to teach us is, don't be in judgment of these other creatures, because they're all you. They are you.
yeah.
We're all connected in this one consciousness. We're all tapping into the great cosmic egg, if you will.
Yeah. I do my best not to think. That's when I get in trouble.
Okay, Phil into the cosmic egg. Whatever you're using, right?
Yeah.
Dolores Cannon said it many times that the ETs are watching over us right now, and they see this as the greatest show in the universe. We are it.
Yeah, we're the Truman Show.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Dolores Cannon also thought, she even said there were no, malevolent, like she didn't really think that was even a thing, that ultimately in the end, it was for our highest and best good, but we just don't, we don't see it that way. But she didn't see that these beings, any of them were to harm, to here to harm us, so to speak. So,
no, I mean,
who knows?
Well, come on. Aren't there people in this earth that would, gladly kill any one of us,
Of course, yeah. And to go back to the experimentation and the half horse, half man. I was reading an article today where they're actually like mixing monkey DNA with human brain DNA and creating living creatures, and they're doing all that stuff. And so did you read that? Did you read about that?
No, I didn't, but I'm thinking that's literally the monkey mind.
Yeah, the monkey mind. Yeah, we might be dealing with that.
Why do we have to read? Why do we have to create something we're trying to get rid of?
Now we're gonna have the hair to go with it,
Well, it just goes to prove scientists are idiots.
There you go.
Yeah, but I was doing that shit in Atlantis, also at the end of Atlantis.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all coming back.
I know,
Yeah.
but you would think we would get it right
Yeah.
finally. That's what I was hoping. Like that's what I'm feeling. And I don't know, like it feels like we keep, I don't know about how you all feel, but it feels like we're jumping timelines. It's like we get rewound and it's like, oh, okay, where am I? What day is it? All right, are we doing this again? But we don't remember. It's almost like the Men in Black where they blank you out and you're like in your kitchen, like, was I just making a sandwich, you know?
Or Groundhog Day at 6.
Yeah, that too.
Funny and Cher pops on. So put your little hand in mine.
That's about it. All the younger people will be like, Sonny and Cher?
Funny
Who's
and
that?
Cher. You are correct.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
am.
Funny, I was working and I had music playing, and one of the songs was a song by My Chemical Romance, and I'm in this 55 and older community. I'm thinking, I guarantee I'm the only one who knows who My Chemical Romance is.
Yeah,
Guaranteed.
probably. No, that's funny.
Yeah, I'll have to admit, I don't know who you're talking.
I bet if I heard
I
a
do.
couple of notes, I would. I don't remember the group per se, but if I heard a couple of notes, like I would get it.
I've
Well,
heard a
it kind
couple
of
of their
depends on
songs.
which period it comes from, really. Because I kind of got out of music. I wasn't listening to any music in the 80s.
Really?
Wow.
Wow. That's the classics now.
Yeah.
No,
You're
the
a rocker.
70s were the classics. Come on. 60s and the 70s. 80s when I was the We Hate Disco generation.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm talking, Van Halen and Motley Crue and all those. You missed out on all that, Phil.
Yeah, he really did.
How do I say no to this man?
Say Siri, no.
No, that won't work.
Don't call me a biatch.
No,
Oh,
finally
goodness.
they gave up. I've had this person that's been calling me, and they say, Jesse, and I keep telling them, no, wrong, Bill, wrong number.
Go.
Think
Hang
it's
on
the
a
same
second,
guy.
Jesse. No, I'm sorry, wrong number.
Jesse says he won't come to the phone for you.
Jesse never liked you.
Jesse says, don't call me no more.
Jesse was a friend, and was a good friend of mine. Once again, the millennials are going, what the hell is he singing?
Jesse's girl.
Yep.
Jesse's girl.
And then General Hospital pops to mind.
Right?
Yep.
Oh my God.
That
Yeah.
still might be going. Who knows? I don't know. Is it still on?
I have no idea. I don't even watch TV. I haven't watched TV. Well, I try not to watch TV.
I don't own cable. So
Either do we. I don't either.
Yeah, I don't
I have
any.
Roku.
I got enough going on in here. I don't need that.
I don't think I've watched TV in over 15 years.
wow. Still leading the way. 15 years ago.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, kind of after 2000. Well, I take that back. The 2001, that kind of got me, especially when I learned, wait a minute, because I hadn't seen the Tower 7 go down, and I got a DVD on that one, and I thought, oh, okay.
Mhm.
They're lying to me. I better quit listening to them.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was a big aha moment.
Yeah.
For awakening people, yeah. And it's
Yeah.
still going on with everything that's going on in the world today. It's
Mhm.
still awakening more and more people. And
Yeah.
Well, you would hope.
You would hope. Yeah.
I hear that they're trying to trot out another variant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in New
Well-
York, I think they've got a thing going on where they're trying to, well, they're not trying, no try, only do. They're doing their best to redo all the 9/11 stuff, which you can't really redo it, but they've got over 3,000 architects and lawyers and such that have signed petitions, and they're all pretty much suing the government.
Wow. Good.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're like, there's no way it's possible.
Nope.
You cannot fall 101 stories at free fall speed while it's crushing things below it. It's just
No.
physically impossible.
We have to be careful about what we say and what we talk about. Right?
That's true.
See,
Look, I hear Tom Petty free falling. That was bad, but we had to change
Yeah.
the subject.
Betty, who's he?
Yeah, exactly. I think
Tom
he
Petty,
died
you mean?
twice.
Oh, come on,
Do you
Greg.
remember?
That was a.
I think he was
Son
one of
of a
those
son.
ones that died twice. It's like you heard he died, then you get up the next morning, it's like, no, he's still alive. And then the next day it was like, no, Tom Petty, he passed away.
It was like
So-
being in it was like having a curse, being in the traveling Wilburys,
Yeah,
Die soon? Here, join this band.
Yeah, it was crazy. So many.
Oh, wait a minute. Don't tell me that Tom Petty's died again. No. I can't stand
He
this.
just went home. Like Elvis.
Die again next week too.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that started happening a
I
lot.
didn't know
Though.
that he passed. Actually, that's kind of bothers me.
Maybe he didn't. I don't know. That could have been my timeline. Could have been. I'm asleep again and got the little flash. I don't know.
There's that website called Dead or Alive.
Really?
It's really interesting because you think some people are dead and they're still alive. You never
So
know.
Yeah, we have to remember, just because they quit performing doesn't mean they've died.
Right.
Oh
They
goodness.
just do private gigs now.
Yeah, I
The
looked up
Angels,
somebody
okay?
recently. I looked up somebody recently, and I forgot who it was, but I thought they were dead, and they were still alive, and I felt bad thinking, well, I thought you were dead.
Yeah, I've had that same experience too. And Nelson Mandela, I remember he passed away and then all of a sudden he was alive again. And they have then they started the Mandela Effect, where people remember one thing and other people remember something
Sure.
else, but we're all here together, like supposedly living on planet Earth,
I hate to say this, but I think what they're confusing is Stephen Beko, who died in prison, and Mandela that died after being president of South Africa.
Mm.
So he made it through prison. Stephen Beko did not, unfortunately.
Mm.
But then they were both of the same ilk. I mean, they were both trying to do the same thing.
Mhm.
So I can kind of see why people could confuse them, because they kind of had the same energy, but I don't think that Mandela died twice. No,
No, I don't think he did
different-
either, but
I mean, or in one different timeline, I don't see that would necessarily be a different timeline. That would be just.
I heard he killed Tom Petty.
And
Really
you should listen to those voices,
Right.
Greg. I'm telling you.
That'll be another article.
I thought you said you were only listening to source now. Come on.
Oh, that's funny.
Free falling. I got that.
Yes. Oh, that was bad.
now you got it stuck in my head.
Yeah.
That was a bad joke.
Starseed, you back again. You okay this time? Starseed Indigo? You hear us? We see ya. Hello?
Mm.
I don't have the participants up. I don't know for. Yeah, there's no microphone associated with Starseed Indigo. Can't get the microphone working. Yeah. Free falling.
Maybe use the wrong connection to audio. That can happen too.
Yeah.
So in the chat, Box is asking, does anyone have some good advice for decalcifying the third eye, the pineal gland?
I'm hearing apple cider vinegar is one thing. Yeah, so there's something else. Pine pollen. Pine pollen is the other term that I'm hearing. Or pine bark extract is another thing.
Oh, I have that. Yeah.
So those are some of the things that can help clear it out.
Meditate.
And get off of city water that's got fluoride.
Yep. Right. Yeah. That I got a One filter. It's called One. And it comes with a little tester, with it. And that thing's been working great for me. Can recommend that.
Yeah. I would say actually the biggest thing that's helped me decalcify my third eye has been getting off fluoride water. Drinking spring water or rainwater or whatever, just or having your own well and though.
Or you can just ask Metatron to just blast it open for you.
Well, yeah. That's
And
one way.
Look out. You don't know what you're going to see after that.
I wouldn't recommend that way, but hey. He can be kind of harsh, really.
Yeah.
He's been a human before, so he knows what you can take.
If you see stuff,
quite a bit.
you might want to leave your phone number in the chat. If you start seeing things, we're here to tell you you're not crazy.
Yep.
Never heard that I was totally crazy. Never.
Hey, I don't care whether you think I'm crazy or not. How's that?
Just what is that? Or just what is crazy,
Well, according to Einstein, I think it's doing the same thing and thinking that you're going to get a different result.
Yeah.
I'm not that kind of
that's
crazy.
Insanity, though. They say that's insanity.
Okay. So I guess I don't know what crazy is.
Is there a difference? I don't know.
Well, I think so, because I'm not insane.
Craig, you can help us out on that. Is there a difference between being crazy and insanity, or are we in the same ballpark?
Clinically?
I think that's what we're asking, yes.
I'm going to stay out of that one. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to post this is really cool. I'm going to post an article in the chat. And it's called Do This Right Before You Go to Sleep to Open Up Your Third Eye. And it's such a simple way to open it up. And most of you have came so close and you don't even realize it, how close you're coming to having your third eye wide open and getting all these visions and stuff. It's so easy to do. And you can start tonight when you go to sleep, right before you go to bed. Check it out. Yeah.
That's the one thing I forgot to mention, affirmations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up here. We've been on for a couple, 2 hours and 22 minutes, actually, right now.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. So I want to thank everybody that joined us in the Zoom here. Thanks for having the courage to show your faces and be part of our lovely Zoom family. And thank you for everyone that's joined us in the live chat as well. And if you're watching this on the recorded version, thank you as well. So if nobody else has told you this yet today, please allow me to be the first. You are loved. You are appreciated. And thank you. Yeah, you and you and you and you and you and you and you for your service to humanity. So on behalf of all these beautiful, lovely beings that have joined me here, I'm Greg, and we're all sending you all infinite love and light. Namaste, everyone.
Yeah.
Much
Thank
love.
you.
Love, light.
Much love.
Bye, everyone.